I always believe in like partnerships, but I didn't believe in myself at that point. I was like, I don't have enough money. I can't do this. I have to have a partner. I literally just went and buy a house one day and I told Kelly, I was like, I think I'm gonna buy that, which is my business partner. And she's like, do it. I'm like, I don't really have the money yet, but we'll figure it out.
Welcome to the Raquel Show. This show is for entrepreneurs who want to play bigger in business and in life. And today I have a very special guest who is one of the most heart-leading, driven women that I know in my world, who owns multiple businesses and has accomplished so much at such a young age. She's a co-founder of VIZION platform, a CEO of the Harris Jarboe Group, and a real estate investor who absolutely loves to play bigger. She and her partner, Kelly, have made a bucket list happen for me this year. As you guys know, I got to go to Kentucky and I also got to invest in Kentucky. And I'm just so excited for you guys to listen in and tune in to this powerhouse. So welcome to the show, Kelsey Jarboe.
Yay! I'm so excited to be here. I'm really pumped to pour into everyone and just collab with like high-powered, high-minded women. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, there are going to be women on that are listening in, and there also are going to be males that listen in who are going to go, oh my gosh, how did she accomplish all of that? So there are so many things that we can talk about. Obviously, you have a wide range of multiple hats. So I just want to kick it off so that everybody knows, how did you get to where you're at today? Like wearing all these different hats. And I named a few of them. So tell me all the hats that you wear.
Okay. So, like I said, or she had mentioned that I co-founded a real estate platform with one of my very best friends who we also co-own multiple teams together. So I currently run 2 teams in Kentucky and 1 in the state of Indiana. I have 5 flip houses normally going on all at one time. I have over 30 rental properties, and I am a partner in a title company. And me and my business bestie, we are fixing to launch a lot of other really exciting things that I just can't talk about yet. But I'm really blessed that I accomplished all that before. Well, I just turned 30 this past May. So that's really exciting for me. And I've learned a lot and failed a lot. So that's propelled me though.
Oh my gosh. And I know that people are going to have to rewind just to listen that whole resume. But what I love that you just said about that is people tend to see the outcome and what the end result was. And we know that you've had a journey, or anybody that has reached that type of success, especially at a really young age, is you said you've learned a lot and failed a lot. So let's talk about failures. Let's just get it right off, right?
Yes.
What has been one of your biggest failures? And now looking back, was one of also your biggest blessings?
Oh gosh. Well, this is like probably a part of my story that even like Raquel doesn't know. So I actually had to recreate my whole rental portfolio. I was in business with someone I was engaged to, and we had over 15 properties, and it was just really bad breakup. So I just said, screw it. And I gave them all 15 properties. I didn't get paid out, nothing. So I rebuilt that. I lost it all. I lost all 15 in 2017. So that made me a monster kind of. And I was like, I'm definitely doing this. So between 2017 and 2022, what we're in, I was able to purchase 30 properties. So
I mean, there's even a lot in that in a nutshell, right? So you lost everything, you gave everything, and then you rebuilt. What was your biggest lesson in that?
Which I always believe in like partnerships, but I didn't believe in myself at that point. So I was like, man, I want to try to do this. I just was like, I don't have enough money. I can't do this. I have to have a partner. I have to have him, or, I'm not smart enough. So I literally just went and buy a house one day, and I told Kelly, I was like, I think I'm going to buy that, which is my business partner. And she's like, do it. I'm like, I don't really have the money yet, but we'll figure it out. So I kind of jumped in, and like, it was cool to know that I could do it on my own, like that I was smart enough to do it on my own. Like it gave me validity to know that I'm empowered to do it. So that was a cool feeling because that was a very big low for me. I was like, man, I've lost everything. I'm in real estate. I don't even have a rental property. How do I even coach people? How do I tell people? And I'm selling them investment properties. So it was more of like maybe my own ego too, but it made me who I am today also.
How did you start to build? I mean, 2017 to 2022 to acquire 30 properties. That's not common. I mean, people will never even touch an investment property their whole life. So how did you build so fast?
Well, this part's kind of funny too. So I had purchased a home that I lived in, and one of my clients was like, well, I really want to be in that area. And I was like, well, I guess I'll sell it. I was single. And so I sold it and I moved in with one of my friend. So I didn't mind to live with a friend, and I went and bought 5 properties. The bank tried to cut me off. So I threw a little bit of a fit. So I started going to my local lenders. And then I just kind of made really good connections and let people know that in my community, I buy distressed, I buy rental property. Also, I have a lot of private investors I might borrow from. So I'm like, shoot, I don't have the money right now, but do you want to lend to me at a higher rate, especially if the bank starts to cut me off? So I just don't really take no for an answer. Like if I want it, I'm going to have it. Like being totally even transparent on this call, I just signed a purchase agreement for 3 properties yesterday. I'm like, I wonder how I'm going to do that. But I just make it happen, and it pushes me in my business. It pushes me to lead through other people more. It's just a whole spiral, and it evolves for me, you know?
So what I even get, and I'm sure people that are listening in, what they're getting is like, this woman is like tenacious and driven. Has it always been that way? How did you adopt that mindset?
Well, it probably goes back from childhood. I just always wanted to be the best. And in my family, how I grew up, it was like you almost had to be the best to be loved, to be transparent. So I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it has made me a monster, and I find validity in that. But every day I'm like working through it. And honestly, I do enjoy it. And I do enjoy that drive, because even if I can inspire one person from it and change their story or help their story or understand why, like I'm absolutely okay with that. So hope that answered the question.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. And what I love about you, Kelsey, is that you are also one that's constantly growing. I mean, if we were even to look at just your real estate business and you being a realtor, you're one of the few in the whole industry that I know that has sold over 100 homes as a solo agent. And now you lead other people, other teams, multiple teams. How does one go from solo agent or being a top producer to leading people? And what has been the biggest shift for you?
Yeah. So all along, like I don't know what over 100 units, this is so bad, was going to bring for me money wise. So I just knew I wanted to hit over 100 units. Like, I don't know, it was just a goal. Kelly had hit that goal. So I was like, man, maybe this is like the next step. So once I did that though, I didn't even care anymore. Like once our team got big, it was about like them, and you literally have to put your ego aside, which I learned that because man, when you start passing people off to other teammates, once I grew, I couldn't do everything. So leveraging, it's funny, but they like my teammate better than they like me. You know, once I started passing off, but that was hard for a second. I was like, oh my gosh, do they like me anymore? Oh my gosh, why do they think I'm too busy? But they don't. It was like seeing the success for my teammates and giving them a big life like I had makes it all worth it. Now, some days like they might not realize, or months, that I'm taking more of a loss than they are, but I want to give them that gift and that journey to empower someone else. So it was really great. We just went on a trip, and Raquel was there in Gulf Shores. And I always tell my people, like, I want you to be better than me, like be better than me. And Justin Reese, one of our other partners, he put it so well. He was like, you're so good at like dropping the mic and then letting somebody else pick it up. So I was like, oh, I love that. So like, that's like our new thing on the team now is like Kelsey will drop the mic and let one of us pick it up and go. So
that is so neat. You know what? Like you said some nuggets in there that I think is really, really important that I just want to reiterate is that sometimes when you have accomplished so much, the what's next is how can I help others or inspire others, even with what I do, even if it means taking a loss temporarily for a bigger gain long term, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes even that temporary loss, people don't like that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you go from I, we, they, the concept of I do it all to we do it all to they do it all. So you talked about leverage. How do you manage all the hats that you wear? I mean, that's a big load.
Yeah, I can't say it's all just me. Like, I truly could not do what I do without like our success team, which Raquel gets to work with them a lot. Honestly, I give it all to them. Like, as in, like, they run the show. We could not do what they do without them. Kelly and I are just the visionary, and we're so grateful that we have people that can help us leverage and know when I drop an idea, like, they're going to execute it. And we're really like blessed too that like they can read our minds because I'm the worst with that. So I'm like, how special is that to have like our Mercedes and our Amber? I know I'm name dropping and you guys don't know them, but in our world, because they're very special and they're one of a kind. So I cannot even say it's me. I'm just the face. I'm just the visionary. They are the executors. They hold us together. So I couldn't do what I do without them.
So you got people that support you on your real estate business, which are amazing people for sure. And then what about your flips and your investments? Do you have somebody else run that?
Yes. So I'm crazy. So I run, I run a tight ship on my rentals. So I actually do all those myself. I'm pretty lucky. I have some really awesome tenants and I keep them immaculate. So I'm like to drive by. I like to call them. What are you doing? I actually like drop them off some stuff for Thanksgiving. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I love them all. And they normally all buy houses from me. So I have like a lot of like higher end rentals. So that works out really well. And honestly, I have a great crew for my flips. So honestly, they're the kind of the visionaries for it too. And then I just kind of pump the money and they shoot me texts. I've never been in that space before. So that's really cool. Trust me, like my rentals before, I would spend too many days working on them and it would take away from my real estate business. So I did unload a lot of lower end ones to go to higher end ones. And that kind of changed the game for me too.
What is higher end in your market? Because you're in Kentucky.
Yes. So my higher end in Kentucky is like 150,000, but I can get them to rent for 2,100.
Amazing.
So, and we get like a lot of people that were maybe relocating, people from factories. We have a ton of factories around here. So you get a lot of great people and they're just in a transition of life. So it works out really well that I formed that relationship with them and then for them to buy with me.
So those that are listening, because we do have a lot of investors or even people that are thinking about building wealth for the long term. And she just dropped some numbers. So definitely reach out and we'll be dropping her handle in the show notes. But you mentioned you and Kelly, your partner, who are business besties. What I like to say is, how did you guys form that relationship? Because I think you guys are such role models for business besties on so many levels. Not only do you guys own one, but you guys own multiple. And I'm curious, even being business besties, is there ever jealousy that happens in that relationship?
Well, kind of start from the beginning. Like, I think it really boils down to trust, especially with like someone that you're in business with. Like, I know anything that she comes at me with is like constructive criticism, or she genuinely wants me to be better. So I have a lot of validity in her and she has a lot of validity in me. So like knowing that we're truly like looking out for each other. And, even Raquel had brought that to our attention. Like, I think we take that for granted, especially like when maybe there's two women that are in business together and one's getting up here and then this one gets jealous. But we kind of let each other shine in different seasons of life. So like, I truly think right now, like, Kelly is she's really big into expansion right now. And she's the face of our expansion network, even though we co-founded it together, but I'm totally okay with that because she is like shining and she wants to be the Gary Keller of that. And I'm like, you do you, girl. Like, I don't know what my purpose is right now. I'm staying in my lane and I'm pushing these teams, but like whenever I start to evolve, she's going to let me shine. So it's, you got to empower each other. And I just know anything she does, it's going to be best for me too, and vice versa. And what I do, like, I'm always going to bring her into my world if I have a new business venture, and she's going to do that for me too. Like, literally the other day, like, not trying to squirrel, like, she's like, "Hey, Kelsey, I just signed for us to buy a bunch of condos with our other partner in Bowling Green." I was like, "Okay." So she just signed and bought us a bunch of condos. But that's how we are so much on the same page. We look at the numbers, we digest, numbers don't lie. So it's just having validity in each other, you know?
I think it's really cool that number one, you guys have found that dynamic because it's very, very rare. And I mean, sometimes people get into business, let alone with their friends or family. It's really, really puts another layer to it. Right. And you mentioned some things of letting other people shine and, you know, partnerships in general, especially you coming out of a partnership, how we started the episode or, you know, what everybody's listening to. You went through a bad partnership and now you're in business with your business besties in multiple companies. Did you have to unlock something to kind of say like, this is different? Or did you have any hesitations after going through that into getting to another partnership?
Actually, I was excited. I was excited because I was so burned before, and I knew Kelly had like such a good heart, and she'd already led me before. So backtracking, like, she had launched a team when we were actually at another brokerage, and I was one of her teammates. So she'd already built her validity with me. And like, I think we knew we wanted to be in each other's worlds because we both think so big. And then it really evolved. So I just knew I wanted to be a part of it, you know? And I don't know how to explain it. She's like my sister.
I love it. You know what? And like I said, you guys are like the perfect dynamic duo because it's very rare, number one, to get in business with your business bestie, but to also have the same vision, to also have that drive and think big, because usually there's one that will like hold back, or you guys aren't at the same level, even financially, to even think like, and I'm not saying like asset wise, but having that financial thermostat of knowledge of going like, let's just go for buying condos, you know, because for some, they may go, whoa, what did you just do? And that might be a challenge in the relationship. So have you guys ever had any challenges or any like, oh my gosh, I want to kill her, or, you know, I don't want to be in this partnership? And if you have, like, I'd love to know. And like the audience, I'm sure would love to know, how do you guys deal with not on the same page?
I've got mad at her before. We've probably definitely raised our voice. I think honestly, the only biggest, like, money wise, we're good. We trust each other. We speak the same language. I think it's been with like hiring or firing. Honestly, that's been our biggest challenge, because sometimes, you know, people that she oversees, and I'm talking about the past, you know, she oversees or I oversee, you get a relationship with them, even after they go through their 30, 60, 90, and sometimes you can't see. So then sometimes she's trying to tell me, and I'm like, no, you don't know them. No, you don't know them. And then vice versa. So honestly, that's like been some of our biggest fights, is who we're keeping, who we're letting into our world. Ooh, I don't feel good about that. My stomach, you know. So we just kind of have to put parameters around it and say, okay, if this is how you feel, then this is their 30 days. All right, this is their PIP, their performance improvement plan. Like, those have been some of our very hardest conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love how you guys, one, for being authentic, that it's not all gravy all the time in partnerships, especially even as best friends. And so how do you guys separate the two, from business to friendship? Sometimes people who are listening to the show, they have family members also in the business. So how do you guys separate the two, where it's like totally business, or do you guys separate it, or is it all together?
Oh, it's all together. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Honestly, too, like, there is an age difference between Kelly and I. Like, Kelly's super young. But I just feel like she kind of like helped groom me too. So we've always been so intertwined. Our hobbies are the same. We love to work out. We go to church. We love Lululemon. Like, so we love sushi. So literally we'll be like, well, let's go eat sushi. We're going to talk about some stuff, non-business. And then we do love our job and our career so much that we can't help but talk about it. And I know that's not natural. And I truly wish I had like a better explanation, but that's why I think it makes it such one of a kind.
Mm-hmm. I like it. And so you have just formed this group called Leading Ladies. Tell us about that. I'm excited because I think that you are one of the most, like I said, you've accomplished so much at such a young age. You lead people, you have such a big vision, and now you've started this community called Leading Ladies.
So it's kind of funny how it started. So Raquel actually inspired me. I feel like she's always creating like community within community, or like empowering high-minded people and connecting them and changing their life. Like literally, like Raquel introduced us to Chef Ash, Joe, and it's literally changed our business. So I was like, man, I want to be in high-powered, high-minded conversations. So it's kind of funny though. I was like, I don't know, like, does that mean people even like me? So I got everybody's addresses and I was going to write them a handwritten note because I literally thought only 25 people were going to join my group. Well, over 500 people joined my group. So I'm pivoting that right now because I had confetti and glitter and stickers and everybody's envelope. And I was like, I cannot handwrite this many letters. So I'm leveraging and I'm learning, and I have some really awesome success team helping me and calling me out and making sure that my group aligns with its purpose. So I would love to have a huge event. Raquel inspires me to do that, but I just want to make sure that it's like powerful and purposeful. And even last night I went and ate dinner by myself. Sometimes I am married, but sometimes it's just, I like to eat by myself, and he was at work. So I kept telling myself like, okay, align with your purpose, align with your purpose. And I'm still trying to figure that out in a good way. I'm like, okay, what's my purpose? How am I going to align? Because 3 people told me that yesterday. You need to align with your purpose. And none of them, all different groups, all different friend groups. I'm like, okay, this is fine. So that kind of even fed into my group also. I don't know. I just don't want it to be like an ordinary group. I want it to be very powerful, impactful tools, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you're running 5 companies and you're a big CEO entrepreneur. Like, I want us all to be able to relate. So
I know that we are going to be dropping it in our show notes. Where can people find this powerful group where they can connect in this community?
Yes.
Is it on Facebook?
On Facebook, and it's called Leading Ladies, and it's Women Who Wow. So it's a good group. You should join.
Amazing. So, you've got all these things going on, Kelsey. Has there ever been a moment that you've wanted to say like, this is too much, or I want to quit?
Last week, actually.
Thank you for being so transparent, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I think it's so important to hear that from somebody that we see as so accomplished. And, we all go through different things behind the scenes.
Yeah. I was like, I even questioned, I was like, why am I doing this? Where am I going? Like, there's so many people. I didn't get scared. I was just like, oh my God, so many people do depend on me. Like, what if I fail now? Just get over with. Or I was in like a weird season. Still like trying to get some teams off their feet. And I was like, man, if something happened to some of those people there, like, I'm screwed. That's failed. So I do get in my head a lot. Sometimes I have to talk myself out of it like every other week. In a fact of like, push forward. This is all worth it. I mean, being honest, like some of our locations have broke even, and we're okay with that because they're launching. But I'm like, man, like, when is this going to take off its feet? But as a business owner, it might take a year or 2 to profit. So I just know I'm working my ass off, being honest. And I'm like, woo, I'm ready for this to pay off. I'm ready to go bless somebody else's life with some extra money. So come on, like, let's go.
Well, thank you for being honest and knowing that like people go through wanting to quit, but there's something obviously that continues to drive you. And whether it's your big why, whether it's your purpose that you're still discovering. And I think even with purpose, it could change as you mature in business or as you mature in life or as situations happen, your purpose can change. And that's what we found out at our event when we had a whole panel on just purpose.
Right.
You've given us so many nuggets and so much to really think about. So what's next for Kelsey? What are you most excited about that you're working on?
I really am excited about my Facebook group. I don't know where it's going to lead to, but I want to have an event. It's kind of bringing me some joy right now because how like as even coaching with Raquel, I'm like, I'm bored. And she's like, oh gosh, stay bored. Keep that team running. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm really excited. Like, we have a lot of really awesome people on our team right now at all locations. And I'm like really pumped to pour into them because I'm big on energies and I'm excited to coach them. And I haven't felt that in a while. We rebuilt our team completely. We went down to 3 people, and now in a year we're up to 15, and then we're onboarding 6 just at one location. So all my locations I'm just really excited about. I'm really excited to like give them my time and pour into them.
I love it. Where can people connect with you?
Instagram is my favorite. I have too many friends on Facebook, so sorry. But no, you can follow me on Facebook. But Instagram, so it is KM as in Morgan, Jarboe __ Kentucky Realtor. So that's my favorite place to be.
Love it. And as we wrap up, there is always one question that I ask every person that comes on the show is, what does Kelsey do to play bigger in business and in life?
Oh gosh, I get coached by Raquel. And I just surround myself with people who are better than me. Truly, like, anywhere I go, I make everything purposeful in what I do. And I'm learning to be very strategic because it's helping me play bigger, like very less impulse, more strategic. It's definitely helping me play bigger and get my ideas together and actually like let them execute. So that's been huge for me.
It's so good. So good. Well, thank you, Kelsey, for being on our show, you powerhouse. I am so excited to see what comes about and what's next for you, because I know you are such a driver. I appreciate you for your time. I appreciate you as a person, and I cannot wait to keep playing bigger with you.
Yes. Well, thank you.